G'day and welcome to StAC's 100, the show where each week we take a look at what's happening in the college's centenary year.
This is a very complex place, so there's always a lot happening.
Very soon we will be dedicating the special new Centennial Chapel, which we're kicking off with a live stream.
But right now our students are starting a term full of exams. School exams and NCEA exams.
Mr Feary, one of our PE teachers and career advisors, welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
As a PE teacher, you'll be hoping that your students are fit for their exams, both physically and mentally.
Absolutely, and it goes without saying, and there's a lot of research to show that with exercise and with good nutrition, particularly with exercise though, people are more relaxed, they actually learn better and they produce better results. So it is a good thing to be doing.
So how important is it keeping fit physically when you're doing exams?
What happens is if you're fit physically, it then affects your mental health as well. So that's one of the biggest benefits, and it means that when you're concentrating on difficult exams and questions, that you're in a better space to be able to concentrate on that. So you can't separate the mental from the physical. So it's the help for the mental that's the most important thing.
Do you have any advice for the students to help them survive NCEA?
Surviving NCA, actually, good question. The thing is to try and remove as much stress as possible. And the ways to remove stress are, you've probably heard it before and you probably get sick of hearing this, and it's preparation. Work well in advance, so by the time the exams come along, you don't have the stress of last minute cramming. Now I know we're all susceptible to that, but not a good way to go. So if I can give a piece of advice, would be prepare well in advance, do your work, so then when you hit exams, you're actually relaxed and comfortable.
So making sure you know what you're doing before you go into the exam.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. What about mindfulness and positive psychology? Those are pretty big concepts nowadays. Do those actually help?
They are big concepts, and you're starting to see more and more of that in a lot throughout universities, schools, workplaces, etc. There's a lot of issues around mental health at the moment, and the problem with mental health, if you're not in good health as far as that's concerned, you're not going to perform as well. So mindfulness is a big thing because it talks about positive talk. I can do this. I can cope with this exam. I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to this, rather than negative talk. And a lot of it is about what happens in your mind and the talk you give yourself. So it is a big factor, and it can make a big difference, definitely.
We've been joined in the studio now by Steve Hartley, internationally recognised television sound expert and Old Collegian. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you for having me.
So, Steve, we're talking careers. You began your TV life here in the studio and on the tech crew. You specialised in sound?
Yeah, well, I was interested in television at a very, very young age. When I was 15, in fact, actually, and Simon was my main motivation for taking a TV career from his passion and everything in television, which I loved from an early age. And I was very fortunate from coming to St Andrews, where I had the opportunity to take part in the TV studio, and had some opportunities come along where I basically had some part-time work while I was still at school. And once by the time I left, that turned into a full-time position for me, and here we are today.
Wow.
So, Mr Feary, Steve seems to have a passion even at school. How important is that?
If you can find the passion, that's number one. And the fact that Steve was able to do that probably put him in the minority, because a lot of people spend a lot of time searching and to find that passion, and some won't find it until their 30s or 40s. So if you can find it really early in your life, incredibly important, and sets you up very well.
So, Steve, you worked for Sky TV for 8 years and now currently working on the America's Cup Regattas. What are the challenges for doing events like that?
A lot of the challenges nowadays is technology, because technology is constantly changing, and we can turn up to an event anywhere in the world and not having seen the equipment before. So the learning there, the learning curve can actually be quite steep, where we have to go from not knowing a piece of equipment to having to learn it by the end of the week to make some TV happen. Yeah.
How did your work here at StAC help with your career?
I guess most of it was probably the passion from Simon, really. He was so passionate, and he instills that passion into a lot of students, and I think that's probably the biggest advice that I can give for careers for anyone. If you find something that you love, every day going to work, it doesn't become a job or a chore. It's actually something that you love doing, and that you can do forever.
And Mr Feary, the college has a really sort of comprehensive website that can help students with their career choices. But in your opinion, how can it help them?
As in helping the students?
Yeah. So, like, how, in your opinion, how does the website help the students find their careers?
Right. Part of the curriculum, as far as careers concerned, is to help people manage their lives and their futures. And if the careers education program can do that, and it sets you up well, what happens with this internet site is it's self-directed, so you can work at your pace. So everybody evolves differently and learns differently, and on this site it has pretty much everything you need to know and the directions you can take. And the goal is, if you can become your own careers manager, and that's our goal throughout life, whenever you change, because in theory your generation is going to have something like 6 different careers in a given time. Now, how do you manage that? If you're 30, I want to change, you can go back to this process, and that's where this website helps.
So then, Steve, coming back to you, how would you have any advice on deciding on a career?
Like I said before, I'd follow your passion. If you've got something that you're absolutely passionate about, then by all means stick to that. And because if you can turn up to work every day and enjoy what you do, then it's not going to be like you're having to go to work. So that would be my bit of advice. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for joining us, and good luck to you all for exams, and that's StAC's 100. Hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.